Fairbury, Nebraska. Don't go away.
Whatever you drive, however you drive. AMSOIL specially engineers lubricants to maximize power, performance, and protection in your vehicles, so you can work hard and play hard with confidence. Order online at amsoil.com.
Indy Metal Finishing is a family-owned and operated business with 30 years of experience in the industry. Their mission is to support their customers with an exceptional level of quality and service. Conveniently located minutes from downtown Indianapolis, Indy Metal Finishing offers Type 2 and Type 3 anodizing chemical conversions, passivation, and electroless nickel services to motorsports, medical, military, aerospace, and manufacturing industries. Indy Metal Finishing is ISO certified and holds an FFL license. If you have any questions, please call Indy Metal Finishing today at 317-858-5353. Find them online at Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Indy Metal Finishing, or visit their website at indymetalfinishing.com.
Welcome to our world. A world of dirt, drift, and dodging fate. A world where all of motorsport collides. A world of digging deep, of grit, glory, and bitter defeat. Inhabited by the strong, the fearless, the barely sane. Welcome to our world. Welcome to the world of NOS.
Go harder, faster, stronger with Rod End Supply. Whether you are running industrial, farming equipment, or a race car, Rod End Supply has the assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products that will help you lead the field in performance. Our superior design means our rod ends last longer and perform better, giving you the edge on the track and saving you money. Contact Rod End Supply or order online today at rodendsupply.com. We don't just sell them, we race them. rodendsupply.com. Serving the racing community for over 30 years.
It was in 2005 that we started TrailerAlarms.com, and we started it to help racers, race fans, and more protect their trailers, cars, and equipment. We'd like to invite you to check out our two-time global award-winning trailer security system. We're American-made and the only trailer security system in the world with more than a 1-year warranty. Just visit TrailerAlarms.com today or contact Lyle for more information.
It's hard to contain your excitement when you get something you've really wanted. Like the gold standard in automotive protection, WeatherTech floor liners. With deep sculpted channels and laser measured for total protection in the front, back, and even up the sides.
Dad, you're going viral.
What? WeatherTech me.
So don't be shy, enjoy. Order your premium American-made products at WeatherTech.com.
FloRacing. It is the Midwest Midget Championship here at Jefferson County Speedway in Fairbury, Nebraska. Night number 2 on tap and a $10,000 check awaiting tonight's winner. Again, 27 drivers checking in here tonight. If you're just joining us on the broadcast or joining us in the stands, it is fair season in Nebraska. The Ferris wheel is going. The Oreos are frying. And the Midgets are staging.
And I bet they've got corn dogs. I'm just going to say. I bet they do.
Lots of corn dogs. Saw somebody walking around with a pretzel about the size of a basketball earlier. And buckets of adult beverages. If you are carrying around one of those buckets of beer, please enjoy it responsibly. Make sure you have somebody to get you home tonight, as you very well see Jefferson County Sheriff's officials and officers around the grounds keeping an eye on you, and they would probably rather wave you on your merry way than have a talk with you. So the last few drivers making their way down into the staging lanes here. Of course, the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship in action this weekend. They will have a break until September. Angel Park going to be our next destination. Until then, USAC Silver Crown Champ Series is going to be at Salt City Speedway. That is in Hutchinson, Kansas. If you remember the Hutch Nationals from back in the day, in the days of Harold Leap and Donnie Crawford and Emmett Hahn, think of that with 100-inch cars. Well, the big cars are coming back to the big track, so you can enjoy that July 19th and 20th out in Hutchinson, Kansas. And then it is one of the most grueling runs in all of sprint car racing. We're talking Indiana Midget Week, and that kicks off at Lincoln Park Speedway on July 26th with the USAC Gamsville Sprint Car National Championship.
Oh, but it's one of the most lovely weeks of
sprint
sprint car racing.
The perfect weather
Well,
for red-hot sprint car racing. The mercury will be boiling. Anyway. And by the end of the week, tempers will be flaring.
probably by the beginning of the week. I think we're coming into Indiana Sprint Week with a couple of that, with some of that going on. So yeah, keep your eye out for some fun things that we're going to do to try and capture the essence of that for you.
So here we go. Simpson Race Products Heat Race number 1 out to the Speedway. Now the lineup is not set by your Honest Abe Roofing qualifying, which you normally see. Instead, it is set by last night's finishing order, but that acts the same way as qualifying. So you still have the same inversion into the heat races. So instead of your quick qualifier being on the right of row number 3 in heat race number 1, it is last night's winner. So we'll set the stage here for Simpson Race Products Heat Race number 1. You got to be a junior to be on row number 1 in this one. Don Drow Jr. out of Lincoln, Nebraska. The Team Jack Foundation, Parker Birch Motorsports, Amsoil, Schoenfeld Headers, number 22T, going to be on the pole. Outside of him, Jerry Coons Jr. He's originally out of Tucson, Arizona, driver of the Schmitz Incorporated, Gateway Paintball Dave, DKW Pipeline, number 85. Next door from the inside, coming to us out of Pocahontas, Illinois, the Kiwi Landscaping 5D Speed Shop. King Chassis Stanton, number 5D. That's going to be Zach Dom. And to his right, you'll find Cale Drake out of Collinsville, Oklahoma, driver of the Eibach Toyota, PageKC.com. KKM Kerbag number 97K. Looking to your next door from the inside, Ryan Timms. He's out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, the JBL IWX Mobile 1 Curb Breakers number 67. And from the 6th starting spot, last night's feature winner out of Ione, California, the NOS Energy Drink EnviroFab MPV Express Toyota Spike number 2. That is Justin Grant. Next row from the inside, Ricky Lewis out of Oxnard, California, the Metalloid 1 Performance Products, Stanton DRC Chassis, Four Kings Racing number 54. And from the 8th starting spot, set to be Zach Merritt out of Greeley, Colorado, driver of the RKO Management, the Speed Shop Coles Appliance Center number 43. Final starter was set to be John Clabundy out of Fort Calhoun, Nebraska, and the InSource Financial Mopar Triple X number 77. Getting word, unfortunately, a scratch from heat race competition. Had some fueling issues last night. It looks like problems continue to plague the driver of the number 77, so he will park it. Hopefully we'll see him a little bit later on in your Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts semi-feature event. So Justin Grant getting the win last night, his first of the season with the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. His 6th overall USAC Triumph of the year, 17th overall in his career in midget competition, and leading all 3 nights of Mid-America Midget Week. And third time is a charm to finally get the win.
Yeah, he's really kind of been on a tear this week, as you'll see him stopped on the backstretch there. Looks like it's some kind of safety stop. perhaps something that Justin wanted the officials to know about or something along those lines. So they're going to get him fired back off. But yeah, you mentioned leading all 3 nights so far of Mid-America Midget Week, and they have had the car really, really great. And Justin had mentioned, night number 1 at Red Dirt Raceway, that he knew when the caution came out that he might be in some trouble. And I would imagine last night when he saw the 89 of Zach Weigel move to the top that he had a feeling things were going to go the opposite direction. We've talked about it, and that kind of surface is where he tends to really excel. And I know that he knows that as well, and his comfort levels probably shot way up when it moved to the top.
Car Chief Lacey Doyle always does a fantastic job on that car. He's had Jason McDougall down there as well, kind of helping him along and just, checking things out, and sometimes having somebody there just to give you a thumbs up and say, "You're doing okay, bud," makes all the difference.
And just fresh perspective, and they, for Justin Grant especially, he's been on the trail with the USAC National Series, all 3 of them, since the drop of the hat in February, and so probably getting a little bit jaded by this point in the season. And it's been a long stretch of back-to-back races. July, the busiest month on the schedule. So just to have that fresh perspective of somebody to have some fresh ideas, and Jason McDougall also arguably an expert on these micro-style racetracks.
And I feel like in any profession, sometimes you need somebody to walk up and just pat you on the back and go, "Hey, you're doing okay."
That's right. Hey, Brian, you're doing okay.
You're doing dandy. You know that? I feel like if anybody in the booth understands the mental perspective of how things go and come and go in life, you're going to be the expert to talk to on that. So right now, just letting the cars go out and buzz the corners a little bit, kind of test out, make sure everything's good to go. Zach Dom, another one that was stopped earlier. And one of the things, if a driver motions that they cannot hear the officials, they are allowed to come to the stop. Officials will go to their aid. So pace starting to quicken here, and looks like the cars get a little bit more grip and stick there in the turns, not sliding around quite as bad as we saw a couple laps ago.
Yeah, so lay just a little bit of water down between the micro heats and these USAC Knox Energy Drink National Midget Heats here for Simpson Race Products Heat Race number 1. So just trying to get that water worked in just a little bit so that they have a better surface to work with here.
We're about an hour ahead of where we were yesterday when we started heat races, so the amount of sun that's still on the racetrack is going to play a huge part in how they prepare the track going forward.
Well, and you look at it right now on the surface, the front stretch here is completely shaded and has been for quite some time, while the back stretch is still in direct sunlight. So that creates 2 completely different styles of racetrack on one surface.
Everybody always says, man, if only it was just indoors, you never have to worry about that. That's a whole new ball of wax. Because in this case, if you water, the water has somewhere to go. When you have it sitting on top of concrete, it can only go so far.
Yeah, it's still problematic. It's just a different kind of problematic.
Yeah. If you ever get the chance, follow Chili Bowl Gravel on Twitter. He, during the event, is actually really, really informative on what they're doing to the track and how they're doing it. To kind of give you some perspective of how you prep a track for indoor versus outdoor.
And I was talking about that the other day. I think it's so impressive how every year they manage to get the racetrack the exact same after a complete teardown and a complete rebuild every single year. Just completely blows my mind.
And it's all marked out by hand.
And see, and it blows my mind. And it's always the same. You never hear guys saying, "Oh, it's a little bit different this year," and it's always the same. And that's remarkable to me.
So field aligning here, just about ready to go. Looks like we're going to maybe give them one more little session of buzzing here.
Well, and you'll remember last night we talked about it quite a bit in heat races, the way that the cushion kind of disappeared off the tops of especially turns number 3 and 4. So they're just trying to make sure that we have a little bit of something to lean on here as we work through heat races.
Things you love to see. Oh, Serena Dowhammer, photographer down in Texas, convinced her mom to buy her lunch so she could save her lunch money. Well, I'm all about that. So lined up, ready to go. Don Drow, Jerry Coons, row number 1. Zach Dom, Kel Drake, row number 2. Ryan Timms, Justin Grant, row number 3. Ricky Lewis, Zach Merritt, row number 4. Again, John Clubunny, unfortunately, done for the heat races anyway. We'll see if we see him later on in the Elliott's Custom Trailers and Karts semi-feature event. 10 times around, 6 drivers going to move on. We go to green.
Zach Dom going to apply some pressure there to Don Drow Jr. Justin Grant going to split the gap between the two of them, and now he looks for second.
On through turns 3 and 4, it'll be the Schmitz Incorporated, number 85 at Jerry Coons Jr. leading lap number 1. Gaggle of cars battling right now for the 4th spot. Drow trying to hold on to it. He got Dom there. He got Timms there. Ooh, a little bit of bumper tag on the back straightaway. Dom now with a slide, trying to take the spot. Drow going to turn to his inside advantage to the King chassis.
Ryan Timms just trying to wait that out and find a way around. He gets through turns number 1 and 2 around Don Drow Jr. Now he's going to try to follow Zach Dom and make something happen on the bottom side of the racetrack. Not this time.
Ricky Lewis putting the slide on the 22, and he's going to lock her up over to number 4. Drow coming to a stop, but the caution light's going to come on. Good battle in 4th all the way back. Unfortunately, Drow getting the engine locked up over in turn number 4 and bringing it to a stop. Ricky Lewis was able to put the slide on him about the time he cleared him, though. Saw the rear tires come to a stop on Drow's Birch-owned number 22. Jerry Coons Jr. in the meantime leading this one, as we'll take a look at the replay here on the FloRacing broadcast. And you see Lewis getting in, and it doesn't take much. A quick stab of the brakes on these 4-cylinder engines is just enough to lock them down. And
it looked like the intent there was for Don Drow Jr. to try and make a crossover move there on Ricky Lewis after that slide job. Knew it was coming, so he was going to try to, get that run off the banking and cut it down a little bit early. But like you mentioned, just so easy to lock him up, and looks like he might be headed to the Indy Metal finishing work area.
And there is no time guaranteed in the work area during heat races or the semi-feature event. The A feature up until 5 to go. And Christy, quick notice from you on the right rear on the number 22.
Yeah, so it looked like it was down flat just a bit, so the reason for heading to the Indy Metal finishing work area, they're going to work on it just in case a caution comes out.
Back to green. Jerry Coons going to take him into turns 1 and 2. You've got Kel Drake chasing, but chasing a little bit harder to the inside. He's going to the 2 of Justin Grant. He's going to sneak it up the racetrack. Not able to clear the Eibach number 97. Now the NOS Energy number 2. Back to the inside. Hustling her onto the back straightaway. Kel Drake able to keep him at bay, as now you've got the 5D of Zach Dom into that mix.
Kel Drake narrowly avoiding those slide jobs from Justin Grant, really trying to hold him off. It'd be best if he could track down the 85 Jerry Coons Jr., who's up on the top side of the racetrack, not looking so great right now.
Boy, your top 2 drivers just about slipped her through the cushion there at the exit turn number 2. Nobody close enough to capitalize on it, but Justin Grant going to set up into turns 1 and 2 once again. Down to the inside, brings it through the middle, and man, Kel Drake riding a razor's edge on the outside, holds on to it. As I say that, Grant going to throw the slide off of turn number 4. He's got it round to the front straightaway.
Enough momentum there for Justin Grant, but Kel Drake's going to cross him back over. Grant with the advantage coming out of turn number 2.
Good battle for 2nd, 3rd, and maybe possibly 4th here. The 5D of Zach Dom. He's been watching all this. He's been right there with them. Just hasn't had the momentum to get up and challenge. Oh, the 97! Rear tires come to a stop midway through turns 1 and 2, and there he sits atop of the curb.
And this is what we talked about last night. It's very technical. It's not the kind of cushion that you can just run wide open.
No, with not having the wall on the outside of the racetrack, that material, it'll pack up there, but once it gets to a certain point, you're flirting with disaster and going in hard racing. And as we mentioned, stab the brakes hard enough, and you are going to lock that engine up. And he actually got her tight in the cushion there and really had to lock it down, and unfortunately, just a little bit too much.
And so this presents an interesting situation for Jerry Coons Jr., who has led every lap of this Simpson Race Products Heat Race number 1 thus far. Now, last night's winner, Justin Grant, lines up right behind him, doesn't have to pass anybody to get to him. Jerry Coons has been excellent so far on the top side of the racetrack. We'll see if he can hold Justin Grant off.
Now remember, the only difference, again, we didn't qualify to set the field. It's based off of last night's finishing order, but the standard USAC format has taken over now that we've gone to green, so that heat race win is important.
Huge.
But now Grant, as last night's winner started 6th, basically, he will act as a quick qualifier.
Yeah, and he would absorb one of those heat race winner positions if he's able to get this done. But Jerry Coons Jr. not going to make it easy on him.
So we'll see what the Triple Crown champion can do as they work off of turn number 4 back to green. Only 2 laps to figure it out. Grant going to dive to the inside. It will be the Central Motorsports 85 with the advantage on the outside right now. Battle for the 3rd spot. Here comes Timms to the inside of Zach Dom as they come to the wave with the white flag and 1 to go. Dom going to keep the JBL number 67 at bay for the time being.
Then he gets up next to the 2J of Justin Grant, last night's winner, who's going to sneak by and Dom back to the top side of the racetrack, trying to hold off Timms one last time.
Well, Jerry Coons Jr. going to hold on for the win. 2nd going to go to the 2 of Grant, Dom, Timms, Lewis, Drake. Those 6 drivers moving on. Merritt and Droud going to go into your Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts semi-feature event. But your winner, ladies and gentlemen, originally out of Tucson, Arizona, piloting the Central Motorsports, Spike Stanton, Schmitz Incorporated number 85. Give him a hand, Jerry Coons Jr.
We're going to hand it down to Danger, Drake York, to talk to your heat race winner.
Boy, I don't know if I like that, Christy, but I can tell you what Jerry Coons Jr. likes. He likes winning Simpson Race Products Heat Race number 1, the second on the season for Jerry Coons Jr. And Jerry, we see Schmitz Incorporated riding along with you in every USAC National start you make this season, and this is a company that's based locally here in Fairbury. So how important is it, not only for you, but for the racing to perform at this race for your sponsor?
Oh, it definitely is. I mean, Kevin Schmidt, huge supporter of this event, obviously, and it's great to have his name on this car and support him. Hopefully, do a little better job than we did last night for him. But just really want to thank, George, Matt, Gateway Paintball. Just kind of tough this week. Last night wasn't the best, but hopefully we can do a little better. Like I said, obviously great to win Simpson Heat Race 1. Got to thank my sponsor, Impact Race Products, as well. Luke back there. And a quick shout out in case I don't get back up here, but just everybody here at Fairbury, the crew, the guys that work the racetrack, everything concession. I mean, this is just such an event anymore, not just a race, an event. And Cody, I just want to give them a ton of credit for this weekend.
Jerry Coons Jr. desperately needed that heat race win in Simpson Race Products, heat race number 1, and he got it.
Thank you very much, Danger.
Okay, there's photo evidence of that.
There is. We're hearkening back to his youth in the junior sprint days.
No rebuttal out of Drake.
I've got him muted.
Oh,
He can't.
rebuttal.
Okay, I have a rebuttal.
Okay.
That was, if you're familiar with the California sprint car and outlaw kart scene, that was the Becker's family's car, and that was the first time I ever ran on dirt. I ran on pavement a lot before that, so that was their car. And actually, a good friend of mine, Blake Burgess, he might be watching tonight. His nickname is now Danger because that was on the race car. But to my credit, I had it first, and that's all I care to say about it.
There you go. He is living dangerously. He is down amongst the cars.
Dirt Drake, Danger Drake, we could do it all. The possibilities
He's
are
going to be
endless.
like Cher at this point. He's just going to go by Danger. So Rada Supply Heat Race number 2 onto the Speedway. Dason Persley to Locust Grove, Oklahoma, the pristineauction.com. NOS Energy Drink, Speedway Toyota, Spike Chassis number 86 going to be the pole. This one to his right, set to be T-Mez, Thomas Meseral in San Jose, California. Driver the England Machine and Tool, T-Mez TV, IPC, EA Stealth, MF1 Chassis number 7X. Next over for the inside, Jacob Denny out of Galloway, Ohio, the Trent Shoring, Rodilla Fabrication, FK Ronins, Ed Pink Powerlink Chassis number 25. And for the 4th starting spot, Jake Andriotti is out of Castro Valley, California, driver the Acro Seal, 4 Kings Racing, Lucky 7 Technologies number 14. Looking at the 5th starting spot, it is Jade Evadissian. She is out of Clovis, California, driver the Mobile 1 TRD Peels at KKM Kerr-Bagajania number 71. And to her right, the 71K will be Cannon McIntosh out of Bixby, Oklahoma, the Gear Wrench TRD Mobile 1 Curb Records entry. Looking to your next row from the inside, it will be Lance Bennett out of Aurora, Colorado, driving the Simpson Schoenfeld header, Stanton Spike Chassis number 91. And from the 8th starting spot, set to be Curtis Spicer to Marysville, Kansas, the Spicer Aircraft Velcro Fontana Stealth number 4S. And your final starter comes to you out of Bethany, Connecticut, driving the Hot Seat Clean Bell Helmet, Speedway Toyota Spike Chassis number 46. That is Kenny Johnson, as that'll be your lineup for Rada Supply Heat Race number 2. Now, Kenny Johnson not able to compete last night, so that does put him starting at the tail of Rada Supply Heat Race number 2. We'll see if he can make his way up to a transfer spot as we go to green.
Jason Persley and Thomas Messer all both going to be fighting tooth and nail for this Rod and Supply Heat Race number 2 win, as they both need that to be starting farther up in your field, which is a unique situation for Jason Persley particularly.
Up to the high side goes to pristineauction.com number 86, down to the bottom, slide across the middle. He'll have to wait in the car to the back straightaway. That was T-Mez. He's been talking about that car has been tight on it. They've really been working on the setup, and so far looks like starting to really improve here as he holds on to that 2nd spot. 14 of Andriotti riding in the 3rd position. Denny running in the 4th spot. Evadissian currently running in 5th, and Cannon McIntosh with the final golden ticket into the feature event right now.
Jason Persley beginning to pull away from the 7X of Thomas Messeral. Looks like he's entering just barely higher in turns number 1 and 2 than everybody else.
Persley just turned his quickest lap of the heat race that time. Sheetner through turns 3 and 4 up onto the cushion there. And him and Messeral that time about the same on entry as they work onto the back straightaway. Both of them, you see the car kind of kick a little sideways there on exit. That time Persley a little bit higher through 3 and 4, so he's searching that high line around, trying to find kind of a sweet spot there as he opens it up to just shy of 8/10 of a second.
Majority of the field on the top side of the racetrack right now, as it looks like that's where most of the speed is. Cannon McIntosh back there in 6th, who's holding the final transfer position right now, trying to find his footing a little bit, trying to explore the racetrack and figure out where he can pick up the most speed.
So Persley last time, 0.923 seconds. He'll come around with 3 to go. His advantage, 1.011. Thomas Meserol still running that second spot. Jake Andriotti continuing to run in third. Jacob Denny in fourth. Jada Vidician in fifth. Cannon McIntosh in sixth. Lance Bennett, Kenny Johnson, Curtis Spicer currently running out your running order. And Spicer in danger of maybe going a lap down to this one as the white flag's coming out.
Jason Persley to the top side of the racetrack. Lap traffic right in front of him in Curtis Spicer. See what he does here as he takes the white flag.
So Persley down to the bottom. Spicer, balls are up at the cushion. Meserol going to close up on him, and that's actually going to hold him up for a bit. So down to the bottom of 3, up to the high side exit. Turn number 4, he'll hold on for the heat race win. Jason Persley gets it done in 86. Thomas Meserol in second. Jake Andriotti in third. Jacob Denny, Jada Vidician, Cannon McIntosh. Those 6 drivers moving on to the feature event. Lance Bennett, Kenny Johnson, Curtis Spicer in 2. Your Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts semi-feature event. But your winner, ladies and gentlemen, he comes to you to Locust Grove, Oklahoma, the PristineAuction.com, NOS Energy Toyota Racing Development, number 86 race fans. Give him a hand, Jason Persley. Down to Drake.
Jason Persley, another guy who needed a heat race win to better his starting spot in tonight's feature event, and was looking at a top 10 last night until he unfortunately jumped the cushion and spun out and really relegated him towards the end of the field. And Jason, when I talked to you earlier today, you were very, very frustrated over that mistake you made last night. So can you use that frustration as motivation here tonight?
Yeah, most definitely. I feel like anytime you make a mistake as a driver, you want to redeem yourself. So thankfully it wasn't on the last night of this whole deal, and we can try to better ourselves here tonight.
Jason Persley collects his 8th heat race win on the season here in Rod and Supply, heat race number 2.
Man, is all about the heat races.
It is, and it's actually the first thought that crossed my mind last night when I saw that Jason Persley was having to go to the Indian Metal finishing work area and go to the tail of the field to restart that feature event. And man, first thing I thought was that's going to really hurt in tomorrow's lineup is if he can't win his heat race, which he did. So not too much of a difference there.
So 11 features completed this season. He has won 8 heat races, so definitely leads the stats there. As we go into TJ Ford's heat race number 3, driver of the poles at Hastings, Nebraska, driver of the Blueprint Engines, Fontana Powered Spike Chassis, Seal Methods, and Murphy Racing number 9B. It's going to be Brian Schwabauer. Outside of him, the 27X, that is going to be Kyle Jones. He's out of Kennedale, Texas, in the Realty Connect, RMS Racing. Billing Racing Products, Simpson Racing Products, number 27. Next row for the inside, Zach Weigel at Belpre, Ohio, the Dave Noss Auto Outlet, S2 Cybersecurity, McCarthy Real Estate, number 89. And lining up to his right, that's going to be Mitchell Davis out of Auburn, Illinois, the Sunoco Racing Fuels. Odell Trucking, Toyota Link Chassis, Pat Odell owned at number 56. Gavin Miller, driver of Allentown, Pennsylvania, driver of the Sound Gear, Toyota Racing Development, Mobile One Curb Records, Ibach, number 97. He'll go for the inside of run number 3. And from the 6th starting spot, it is Logan Seavey out of Sutter, California, driving the Abacus Racing, Indy Custom Stones, Stanton SR11X, Prime 47, number 57. Trey Zorn going from 7th in this one at Russell, Kansas in the Chandler Grand Prix. Lanefrost.com, Hellmark Pipe Supply, Sonny's Groceries, 00. And outside of him, Daniel Whitley. Whitley coming to us out of Ferndale, California. The C&D Irrigation, Ripper Chassis, Zamatic, John Levesque, number 60X. Final starter making his USAC National Midget debut tonight at Chandler, Arizona. The PageKC.com, FloRacing.com, KKM Give Back Classic, Rush Race Gear, KKM Kerr Virginia, number 67K. That is Ricky Thornton Jr. As that'll be your scheduled lineup here in TJ Ford's heat race number 3, and I believe Drake with an update.
Thank you so much, Brian. Got a chance to talk to Ricky Thornton Jr. after Dirt Trap. He was 20th fastest there, but within a second of the leaders, and I asked him how his race was. I'm fairly happy with it. But the thing I took away from the most from that conversation with Ricky was said the car felt lazy, which is crazy to hear a late model driver say, but you also got to remember this is his first outdoor midget races. He's had experience at the Chili Bowl Midget Nationals the last couple of years, but this is the first time he's raced in a midget outdoors, so he's been very excited all day about this opportunity. We'll have to see how he fares. Of course, a really important race for Ricky, not only to transfer in the feature event, but if he wins his heat race, that would be absolutely massive for his night.
It definitely would. We'll see what he does for the back of the field here. 19 times a winner this season, a late model modified competition. See what he does here behind the wheel of a full-blown USAC National Midget as we go to green.
A little bit of rubbing between the front 2 on that one, but Kyle Jones, last night's quick qualifier, going to go to the top side of the racetrack, gets a little bit squeezed and has to reconsider.
Schwabauer to the inside, Kyle Jones to the outside. That Toyota running hard here tonight as he's going to jump up into the race seat. Schwabauer to second. Slide coming for the 89 of Weigel. Couldn't get up there quick enough. Oh, Schwabauer. A little bit of a bobble on the cushion. Thought the 89 was going to sail his left side tires for a second. He was quick on the binders as they go slide for slide at both ends of the speedway.
Zach Weigel was hoping to get it done that time. Now he has to go back around Schwabauer. He's going to get it done that time. Zach Weigel second, and here comes Gavin Miller.
Miller with a slide to turns 3 and 4, clears the 9B as he's now side by side, 3 wide for a moment there. The 57 to Logan Seavey right to the middle of the 56, down to the bottom side of the speedway. Mitchell Davis in that mix as they work down to the back straightaway to turns 3 and 4. Seavey, this time he'll thread the needle. He will have it as they come around to the front straightaway. Seavey takes over the 4th spot.
I've been trying to mention it, and it just hasn't come up naturally, but Logan Seavey utilizing this line in turns number 3 and 4. It's kind of developed a ridge across the middle part of the racetrack, and he's picking up speed there.
Kind of a pseudo cushion up to the cushion there as he works all the way up to the cushion through turns at 1 and 2. Only driver really making the bottom side work was through turns 1 and 2, and that was the Sunoco Racefield's number 56 of Mitchell Davis. He's going to vacate the bottom and go to the top this time. Seavey coming up on the 97 of Gavin Miller. He'll try to fight for the 3rd spot. He'll peel down to the inside through turns 3 and 4. Boy, Gavin backed her up to the cushion hard, turns it down and grabs the middle groove down to the front straightaway.
Battle is for the transfer here between Daniel Whitney and Trey Zorn as they both go to the top side of the racetrack. Whitley gets a little bit sideways coming off of turn number 2.
Daniel Whitley up on the high side of turn number 3. Zorn up into the cushion hard. He's going to lose ground to that. Lanefrost.com 00 is up front. It is all Kyle Jones in 27 in this one.
Here comes a slide job out of Logan Seavey across the front of Gavin Miller's number 97. Miller with the advantage of the white flag.
Taking the Mac Fabricating number 27 onto the back straightaway for the final time. Checker flag going to greet old Snidely Whiplash. Kyle Jones picking up the heat race win. Zach Weigel in second. Battle for 3rd goes the way of Gavin Miller, Logan Seavey, Mitchell Davis, Daniel Whitley. Those 6 drivers unofficially holding on to transfer into the feature event. Trey Zorn, Brian Schwabauer, and Ricky Thornton Jr. unofficially rounding out your field. Much your winner, ladies and gentlemen. He comes to you out of Kennedale, Texas, the Realty Connect, Max Fabricating, RMS Racing, Simpson Race Products, Josh's Speed Shop, Joyner Motorsports, over 27X race fans. Give him a hand at Kyle Jones. Zach Weigel, Gavin Miller, Logan Seavey, Mitchell Davis, Daniel Whitley, Trey Zorn, Brian Schwabauer, and Ricky Thornton Jr. unofficially rounding out your field as the Joyner Motorsports entry down to the front straightaway. Let's take it down to Drake.
Thank you so much, Brian. Kyle Jones gets his 2nd heat race win on the season here in TJ Force heat race number 3. He's got a lot of the firsts out of the way this week. First time he started on the front row, or I should say the pole position, was out at Beloit. First fast time last night. Kyle, he said, well, we've gotten most of the first out of the way for this week, so how do you feel about maybe getting your first USAC National win tonight? Look at that. You even got the hat, too, in the suit. That's impressive, my friend.
Oh, you got to stay ready. Yeah, man. Can't thank Dave Easttip enough. Thank you, Dave, for letting us be out here and helping us with this motor and all of our RMS guys. It's insane, man. It's incredible the last couple of days, right? So, yeah, a lot of firsts happening this week. Hopefully we can get our first win. That's what we shot for last night. Came a little bit short, but we were on the edge and we were there. So let's see what we can get them tonight.
And Kyle Jones, another driver who really needed that win here as he gets the job done in TJ Force heat race number 3 aboard the 27X.
Indeed he does. Thank you very much. As with that, the Dirt 2 Media National Open Wheel 600 Series presented by High Plains Building Division set to make their return out to the Speedway. Lead the first of 3 B feature events. A little mist of water once again going to come down onto the racetrack. So 3 Bs, top 2